What is up, degenerates? Welcome back to Hypecheck for yet another video for the UFC. In today's video, I'm giving you guys a full card breakdown, going over each and every fight for UFC Charlotte, Rozenstruik versus Almeida. As always, if you guys are new here, join the fam, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to hit that 50K subscribe mark, so if you are new, it does help out the channel a lot. And we're coming off an insane weekend, UFC 288, week handicapped 9 out of the 12 fights correctly. We had an absolutely massive week, so I hope a lot of you guys who watched last week's video cash in big with us. But before we get into this week's video, I just want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Stake, the #1 sportsbook and casino available online and exclusively for the Hypecheck fam. When you sign up using the code HYPE, I'll be giving you guys a $75 bonus tip that could be sent to your Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, or directly to your Stake account. I've been sending them out all last week, so if you do want to check out Stake, this is the best offer by far. All you guys got to do is sign up to Stake. Like I said, use code HYPE. Send me a screenshot to my Instagram at HypecheckSports or on Twitter at Hypecheck, and I'll send you over the tip ASAP. Thank you guys for all the support. Make sure to comment your favorite bets and picks down below. And yeah, good luck, boys. Let's kill it once again this week. Let's do it. Kicking off the prelims, we got Jessica Rose Clark going up against Tainara Lisboa. Clark is the favorite at -139, and Lisboa is the underdog at +109. Clark needs a win in this spot, coming off 2 straight losses, 4-4 in the UFC as a whole. Her last 2 fights, losses via submission, most recently to Julija Stoliarenko. Lisboa, on the other hand, is making her UFC debut on Saturday, currently riding a 3-fight win streak in the regionals. This one will be short and sweet. Both girls are primarily strikers. Clark probably has the better striking. Lisboa throws with more power, and with Clark coming off a major injury, I'm more than happy to back the debuting fighter at plus money. Betting-wise, I don't see why the UFC would give Clark an easy fight in this spot. They obviously want the debutante to win here. Dogger pass spot. After that, we got Gabe Green going up against Bryan Battle. Green is the favorite at -127, and Battle is the underdog at -101. Both guys are looking to bounce back off losses. Green, a loss via decision to Ian Garry. Battle, a loss via decision to Renat Fakhretdinov. Starting off with Battle, he'll have a big size and reach advantage in this spot, which he'll be using to his advantage, as this fight should be staying primarily on the feet for however long it lasts. Green is the guy I always like to back. He fights super hard and is very solid overall. Similar to the last fight I just broke down, it seems like a pretty clear matchmaking move by the UFC for Battle to get back in the win column. He's a bit younger and has way more marketing potential. He's fighting in front of his home crowd as well. However, I think this is the perfect opportunity for Green to upset the UFC's plans and get a dub. Everyone I know is backing Battle in this spot. When I think of Green, he is substantially the better fighter. I watch a ton of tape on these two, and I think Green is just going to out-volume and just out-power Battle. And he also fought against the better competition in the UFC. It's a favorite to pass spot here with Green. Next up, we got Yeon Kim going up against Mandy Bohm. Kim is the favorite at -250, and Bohm is the underdog at +190. Both girls need a win badly this week. Bohm is coming into this fight on a 2-fight skid, most recently a loss via decision to Victoria Leonardo. Kim, on the other hand, is on a 4-fight skid, most recently a loss via split decision to Jocelyn Edwards. This one will be short and sweet. No one, and I mean no one, should be betting on this fight. This is the lowest level of women's MMA we'll see in the UFC. Kim is extremely low level, but Bohm is not UFC level at all. Bohm, every time she's fighting, she's an instant fade for me. Betting-wise, do not put money on this fight. However, if you are to bet it, if you are as big of a degenerate as most of the people watching this video, I only recommend going with the favorite here with Kim. On to the next. After that, we got Natan Levy going up against Pete Rodriguez. Levy is the favorite at -295, and Rodriguez is the underdog at +225. Levy, he's on a 2-fight win streak, most recently a win via decision to Genaro Valdez. Rodriguez, on the other hand, is coming off a knockout win over Mike Jackson. Before I get into anything, I'm a bit biased in this spot, as Natan Levy is indeed part of the Hypecheck fam, and I've worked with him many times in the past. With all that being said, though, I don't see a world in which Pete Rodriguez beats Natan Levy. He's way better wherever this fight goes, and overall, besides for Rodriguez's power, he's just better. Betting-wise, I'm seeing Levy just grinding out Rodriguez against the fence, using his wrestling and keeping the fight on the mat for the full 15, and picking him apart at distance with his killer leg kicks. Favorite to pass spot here, on to the next. Next up, we got Carlos Ulberg going up against Ihor Potieria. Ulberg is the favorite at -345, and Ihor is the underdog at +250. Ulberg is on a tear right now, on a 3-fight win streak, most recently a knockout win over Nikolai Nurmagomedov. Ihor, on the other hand, is coming off a knockout win over Mauricio Rao. Ihor keeps his hands low, which is very concerning against an extremely technical and weathered kickboxer. This is essentially a brawler versus technician. Ihor throws with a ton of power, and we have seen Ulberg get knocked out in the past, but like I said, he keeps his hands too low, essentially taking one to give one. Betting wise, expect Ulberg to put on a masterclass on Saturday, avoid those big power punches, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Ihor wakes up in the hospital on Sunday morning. It's a favorite to pass spot here. After that, we got Cody Stamann going up against Douglas Silva de Andrade. Stamann is the favorite at -159, and Andrade is the underdog at +124. Stamann is currently riding a 2-fight win streak, most recently a decision win over Luan Lacerda. Andrade is looking to bounce back off his decision loss to Said Nurmagomedov. A very interesting fight to break down. Both guys are extremely well-rounded and have faced very good competition in the UFC. Andrade will have a slight power edge, but Stamann will have the edge with his volume and good wrestling in his back pocket. He averages right under 3 takedowns a fight. Betting-wise, while Andrade is the older fighter, I think he'll get to the better side of this one. I think he'll stuff Stamann's takedowns and land that big shot to really get him hurt. And more recently, I just think he's been performing way better than Stamann in the octagon. It's a dog or pass spot here. On to the next. Next up, we got Karl Williams going up against Chase Sherman. Williams is the favorite at -417, and Sherman is the underdog at +300. Williams is currently riding a 5-fight win streak, coming off his UFC debut win over Lukas Brzezinski via decision. Sherman, on the other hand, is looking to bounce back off a decision loss to Waldo Cortez Acosta. This one will be short and sweet. Williams will lay and prey on Sherman all day. It's a very easy game plan for Williams, and even on the feet, he'll be able to land the bigger shots on Sherman, who absorbs a whopping 7 significant strikes per minute. Betting-wise, I rarely call any fighter a quote-unquote lock, as anything can happen once those octagon doors close, but Williams is as close to one we'll ever get on Saturday. Favorite to pass spot here. Closing out the prelims, we got Matt Brown going up against Court McGee. McGee is the favorite at -208, and Brown is the underdog at +160. Both guys are looking to bounce back off losses. Brown off a split decision loss to Bryan Barberena. McGee off a knockout loss to Jeremiah Wells. 2 UFC vets we all know and love. Both guys are very well-rounded. Brown, he'll be the more accurate striker, who's also a lot more durable than McGee, who's coming off a brutal knockout. Betting-wise, the only way to look here is with McGee. I think this is a retirement-esque fight for Brown, and McGee's path to victory is fairly straightforward with his grappling. It's a favorite to pass spot here. Kicking off the main card, we got Tim Means going up against Alex Morono. Morono is the favorite at -238, and Means is the underdog at +180. Both guys are looking to bounce back off losses. Morono off a knockout loss to Santiago Ponzinibbio. Means he's currently riding a 2-fight skid, most recently a split decision loss to Max Griffin, and it'll have a height and reach advantage in the spot. This is a fairly easy fight for me to break down. In a fight that will be staying primarily on the feet, I have to back the younger, more motivated, powerful, and technical striker with Alex Morono. Betting-wise, we've always seen Means take a ton of damage in his fights to weather that storm, but that game plan just won't work against Morono this upcoming Saturday. It's a favorite to pass spot here. After that, we got Daniel Rodriguez going up against Ian Garry. Garry is the favorite at -263, and Rodriguez is the underdog at +200. Garry is an 11-0, 25-year-old prospect coming off a knockout win over Son Kanan. Rodriguez is looking to bounce back off a submission loss to Neil Magny. D-Rod is a fantastic boxer. He puts out more volume and has better striking defense than Garry. This is a big step up in competition for Garry, by far his hardest fight to date. And Garry, he takes a lot of damage on the feet, which really worries me against the boxer in D-Rod. Betting-wise, as long as D-Rod's chin holds up, he's an absolute steal at these odds. A 2-1 underdog against a guy making a step down in competition, and a guy making a step up in competition being a 2-1 favorite is absolutely insanity. Give me the dog here all day in a dog or pass spot. Now, we go to the co-main event of the evening with Anthony Smith going up against Johnny Walker. Walker is the favorite at -123, and Smith is the underdog at -102. Smith, he's looking to bounce back off his knockout loss to Magomed Ankalaev. Walker, he's coming off a knockout win over Paul Craig. Walker will have a big height and reach advantage in this spot, and this should be a super fun fight. Walker is as dangerous of a fighter as you can have in the light heavyweight division. He's a certified brawler who will kill or be killed within the first 10 minutes of his fights. Smith, on the other hand, is way more calculated and technical, and he's fought and beaten the far better fighters as of late. Betting-wise, Walker is only live in that first round, and Smith, he's never been knocked out in the first in the UFC. I think fighter IQ will play a major factor in this fight, and if that's the case, it's Smith all day for me in a dog or pass spot. It's time for the main event of the evening with Jairzinho Rozenstruik going up against Jailton Almeida. Jairzinho is the biggest underdog of the card at plus 380, and Almeida is the favorite at minus 588. Both guys are coming off wins. Jairzinho is coming off a knockout win over Chris Daukaus. Almeida, he's an 18-2 prospect, currently riding a 13-fight win streak, 4-0 in the UFC. His most recent win via knockout over Shamil Abdurakhimov. A pretty simple fight to break down here. Jairzinho is primarily a kickboxer and an extremely experienced one at that. However, he's going against a monster on the mat with Almeida. Betting-wise, the bottom line here is whether or not Jairzinho's takedown defense will hold up, which myself, Vegas, and frankly everyone handicapping this fight don't think will happen. Almeida should walk through Rozenstruik on Saturday. As long as his cardio holds up and his takedowns land, it should be a walk in the park for him. It's a